Hello everyone, my name is Miranda and today I'm here to review episode 2 of The Gifted. And really quickly before I get started, a huge thank you to everyone who commented and left their theories and their thoughts on the show, because it was awesome getting to see all the different theories and things you think are going on before getting into the next episode. This episode took place right after episode 1 had ended, and they were basically like, "Where is my father?" Like an opposite Darth Vader situation, you know, where it's like, "You are my father," instead they were like, "Where is my father?" So it was kind of split into like 3 distinct storylines. So we had everything going on at the compound with the kids and Caitlin and Blink especially, and then we also had Lorna in jail, who's not having a good time right now, spoiler alert. And then we also had the dad Strucker, Reed, and him kind of facing his charges and being the one that they finally caught to try and figure out who the mutant underground is. So I have to say, while I enjoyed all 3 of these storylines, I definitely think my favorite was everything that was going on at the compound, just because it was so high stakes and so intense and different from really other things I feel like I've seen in superhero shows, because it was really cool that it was all focused on Blink and trying to stabilize her and how everything kind of came off of that. Like, I really love how Caitlin stepped up and was like, "I can try and fix this," and you saw how she got more confident and more assured in herself as the episode went on, which I thought was really, really great. Like when she went undercover at the hospital, she played it off so good, and I love it because I feel like a lot of the show so far has been about how great Reed is, kind of, and how like, oh, he like, you know, is super strong, super smart, all this stuff. But I think you really have to remember that Caitlin is the one who first found out that her kids were mutants and instinctively protected them. Like Reed also did, but it was Caitlin who started it, you know, like she didn't turn them away. And you even saw her in the car with Marcos when he was explaining that his parents kicked him out the day he got his powers. She was like, "I can't imagine like doing that. That's your kids." And he was like, "Well, you didn't kick yours out, so that counts for something." So I think it's nice that we're seeing the respect change on both sides, in that I think Caitlin is becoming less wary, I guess. I don't think she's one of those rude people that's like, "Ugh, mutants," you know, like sticking her thumb out at them. But at the same time, I think she's wary of them because, you know, they're kind of more powerful than her, which makes sense. And I think she still is in that mindset of, "Oh, my husband only, like, the government only prosecutes bad mutants," and now she's starting to realize that mutants kind of really get the short end of a very, very short stick to begin with, you know, like they just, and then that stick gets smashed in their faces even when they can get some help. And so I think she's starting to realize more of that, and then I think Marcos and everyone is kind of realizing too, but Marcos especially is who they focused on, that Caitlin, you know, when she did find out her kids had powers, she stuck by them and she's still trying to help these mutants, and she's trying more. So I really like how that's kind of, that balance is coming, and they're starting to become more of a group in each other instead of having this divide of like the family versus the rest of the group. The only question I still have though, and I think the end of this episode kind of started to lead towards it, is how Lauren and Andy have their powers. Because I thought the mutant gene was a genetic thing, right? I mean, it's a gene, so obviously someone in their family would have to have it. But now it seems like there's going to be a connection between Lauren and Andy and those siblings in, was it Cuba at the end, that in like the 1960s? So I don't know if it's like, I don't even know what it could be like, if like they like are like reincarnated in Lauren and Andy. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that comes to be, because I don't know what, like, that was the thing in the episode that I was kind of like, I don't know what this means. Like, it wasn't like I was expecting them to zoom in and then it'd be like 1962 or whatever, and then like a picture of Lauren, and everyone would be like, "What the, like, how did she do that?" Definitely some higher up that's super interested in Lauren and Andy for some reason, and I think that makes sense because it was kind of hinted at in the first episode that they were so, Reed was so shocked that they had sent Centennial services specifically after Lauren and Andy after this one incident. So I think like the groundwork is starting to be there that maybe Lauren and Andy, they are part of some bigger thing that they don't even know about, and we are starting to get towards, because it seemed like that doctor, super sketchy area, first of all, that he was in. No place that's that way is good unless it's like an Apple store, and even then you can get lines and get punched in the face by some angry person that's iPhone just died because they threw it off a balcony. I'm having flashbacks, sorry. And second, like, it just seemed how he was like, "Get me the lead of that investigator. Like, he seems like he's very much in charge of something, so I'm very worried about that because I don't like when they experiment on my mutants, you know? Like, I just let them live in peace. So it was so good, and I think the special effects were really great with how Blink's powers were being affected and all the portals and everything, and I loved, again, seeing Lauren step up to the plate and mending the portal with her powers. I think right now I can see Lauren, like, this is her people. I feel like she would fit in very well with them. I don't see it so much with Andy right now, but again, he's still new to his powers. I just think Lauren, she's like, this is what I wanted to do with my powers. Like, I want to help, and now she's finally getting to do that rather than keeping them a secret, which is really great. And then lastly, Reed, which I feel like was just like the hardest one to watch in general because it just depressed me, and like, this is like things that people actually go through, taking out the mutant, but other things, like they bring in your family members who they know have nothing to do with what's happening, but just to make you sweat, and they won't give you a lawyer. Like, man, if you took a shot every time Reed asked for a lawyer, you would be wasted by the time because they just would not give it to him. And I think Marco summed it up very nicely when Caitlin was like, well, don't you have like the Civil Rights Act that makes it like mutants have equality? And he's like, yeah, but as soon as they label you as dangerous, all your rights go out the window. So I think that's very true because it's like, they are very, not only like judged for that, but then also I think it was John that mentioned that like Blink was arrested because, you know, like she looks very mutant-y. She can't change, you know, she has the eyes and everything, and if it's harder to blend in, then they already see you as a threat. And we kind of saw that in the beginning with the flashback at the bowling alley with that poor girl who was, she couldn't hide that she looked like a mutant, and she was getting picked on it just for being a mutant. And I think Lauren was like the one who, I think it makes sense when you see how Lauren is like so affected by this because she knows right now she has powers, but she's the one that was like, why did they have to leave? And I think that was such a good line because that's one that you see in history, you see nowadays, and that someone that's just living their life because they look different or they have stereotypes about them have to live their lives to accommodate the people that are judging them and being prejudiced against them. So like when she said, why do they have to leave? I thought that was such a strong line. It just makes it more impactful seeing what Reed's going through, I think, because he isn't even a mutant. So I can't even imagine what mutants would be going through. We get a hint of it with Lorna in that she's not really getting protected in jail by anyone or anything, but it's just really, really sad to see. I think they're doing a really great job with the writing and making it so you get kind of all the sides of Caitlin's kind of ignorance of being like, oh, mutants are protected, and Marcos and everyone kind of being disillusioned and being like, yeah, we're protected as long as you guys think we still fit into society, you know, the minute we become dangerous, it's all out the window. So I really think it was a really strong second episode. I'm excited to see what the rest of the season is going to go. I'm placing my bets right now that John and Blink, I'm shipping them already. They're cute, even though I still think Blink, I don't necessarily trust her. I don't know, but I'm shipping them definitely. Like, I get vibes that they're gonna get together. Also, can I just say how great the special effects of this episode were? I think I said it before, but like when Blink's portal first opened and the truck came through, I was like, I think my jaw has dropped like that watching TV in so long. It was just such a visually stunning and striking scene that I was like, no way. So this episode has me even more excited for the rest of the season, and I'm hoping that it's just as good because it seems now that like even though they're separated, they can juggle the different storylines very well. So I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of the season. And if you have seen episode 2 of The Gifted, please feel free to leave your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Also, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel down below to be told to make all sorts of new videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!